Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for this episode where today we're going to be making the camera follow the player. So in the previous videos I already set this up, but in this video I'm actually gonna make the camera follow the player, because right now, yeah, if the player moves around, the camera doesn't follow. So I'm going to be doing two different ways for this. I'm going to be doing one where the camera follows the player, and then I'm also going to be doing one where the camera will do kind of like an auto scroll. So I'm going to go to the main camera and I'm going to add a component. I'm going to call this FollowPlayer. I'm going to create an ad. In this script I'm going to remove the start method, and then I'm going to make it to where the transform.position, because basically what I'm saying is the transform, and if it's a capital T, that's any transform, but if it's a lowercase t, that's the transform with this script on it. So it'd be this transform component on the main camera, dot position, so it'd be the x, y, and z on these positions. And I want those, because I want it to move the camera, I want those to equal the player's transform.position. And that would be, I have to make a reference, so I want to do public transform with capital T, so it's like any transform, and I'm going to call it the player. And then I'm going to make the player dot position. And then if I end that off and then save that, and then add the player onto it, and then click play, the camera's going to go inside the player, because now the camera's going to equal the player's position. So now it's going to do this. So if I go into 3D here, you'll notice how the camera is exactly where the player is. But I don't want that. Like, we don't want that. We want it to be like back here, kind of, so it's not exactly where the player is. So we are going to add a Vector3, which a Vector3 is just a kind of a way to track your x, y, and z positions, and you usually use that for position because it's your x, y, and z. So we want the camera to be where the player is plus a Vector3. So I'm going to do public Vector3, and I'm going to call this offset. Then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to add the offset. Then if I save this, go out, there'll be another thing down here that'll be all three positions. So I'm going to be like 2 back, or in 2 like to the right, and 1.5, and then the z maybe like negative, well, that's negative 10, the player is 0, so then negative 10. Let's try it out. So now it shows the camera right here, but now if the player moves, the camera will follow the player because it adds that offset to it. So basically when the player would move really quickly, the camera goes inside the player and then adds that offset to it to make it go back here. And then when the player moves again, it would do the exact same thing, make it equal the player and then add that offset. And it keeps on doing that every update, which would be every frame. So that is FollowPlayerScript that I had before on it too. I am going to add another component called AutoScroll. Now in this script I don't want it to equal anything, I want it to either plus equal or minus equal, basically using speed. So I'm gonna make it to where the transform.position, so the camera's position. And I want that to plus equal a Vector3. Now there's a couple ways we can go about this. We can just straight up make a reference doing a public Vector3 and then call it speed or something like that, and then make it plus equal speed. Save this, go out, and then the AutoScroll make the speed be, I don't know how fast it would go, but like 1 max. I'm actually pretty sure that's like really fast, maybe. No. Oh yeah, because we still have the FollowPlayerScript enabled. Now let's try it. Yeah, it's really fast because I was messing around with this before, so it's like, let's try 0.1. So now we'll slowly move, and the camera will slowly update. But there's another way to do it. So like, let's say we only, like, this is good if you want to like make it to where it will move in all directions, so it can move right, then it can move up. But if your game only moves it in like around the X position, you don't need, I didn't mean to click play. You don't need all three, you don't need to track all three positions, you only need to track the X. So to do that, we're going to make, in the update method, we're going to make a Vector3. We're going to call it playerSpeed. And then we're going to make that equal a new Vector3. And then we're going to make this be 3 different positions. Now up in this, up in the reference up here, we're going to, instead of making this a Vector3, we're going to make this a float. And then we're going to add this float into one of the positions, because the float can track the X, Y, or Z. So we're going to make the float track one of these positions. Instead of making this plus equal to speed, I want this plus equal to player speed. So basically, it will transform the position plus equal on the player speed. The player speed is equal to these 3 different positions, and I want the float to be the X position. So I'll make the speed. Then, I think it's actually might good to multiply this by Time.deltaTime. Which we're going to actually have to bump the number up now. So now let's try to make the speed like 1. See how fast it goes. See, now it moves really slowly, but you can bump up that speed and it will always move in this way. And if you want it to move the other direction, let's actually make it like 2. So like do -2, and it would move in the opposite direction. Because it does plus equal moving in a positive direction, but you're using a negative number. So then it's going to start moving in this direction. And if ever through script you just want to do this, then and start following the player, then you can just do that. So yeah, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and see me in the next video. I have no clue what I'm going to be doing, but yeah, I'll see you next week.